Why is it showing as overpayment? So if you click back on like a couple of times, you should go, oh, that's actually right next. You see the little report, one of the
Mm-hmm.
tabs. So I don't know what's going on there, but it's clearly some kind of error in posting. And the reason I'm showing it to you, we're not going to dig into it right now because we need to do the overview.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see something that doesn't make sense, this is how I
Mm-hmm.
work. I would dig into it. I would read all the comments. I would unfold all the sessions. I would try to make sense of what wasn't done correctly because all the numbers that you see in Central Reach are based on numbers that somebody else posted.
Mm-hmm.
Since all of these postings are handled by humans, you get errors. When you get errors, your numbers are not true. They're not real. You can't rely on them. You can't pay bonuses. You can't estimate company financial health if these mistakes happened.
Okay, so go over payments. How often would you do that on like weekly basis, monthly basis? So there's column with overpayments.
So I do it in a very different way. I'm going to
Mhm.
show you the KPIs, and
Okay.
normally for me, what I would look at this RCM report, and there are about 200 different indicators that I can dig into.
Mm.
Obviously, no normal human being can ever go through all of them on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm.
That is just not possible. But you see how I spotted one thing, I picked the biggest number, and I just got into it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do. I look at the overall report. If I see something that's too low, too high, doesn't make sense, is
Mm-hmm.
contradictory, that's the moment I dig in. And that's the reason why I wanted to review the KPIs and I want you to understand all the definitions so that you can spot like something doesn't make sense and dig into it and find the errors, the shortcomings, the something needs to be handled and um, work on it basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
now let's look at the report. Uh, oh, before you get out of here, can you give me October, November, and December so I can update our numbers?
Of course.
Mm-mm. Sorry, I meant October, comma, November, one by one.
Yeah, this is October.
Okay, that 454 5 something 55278 55278. And the patient responsibility is 812817. 812817. And then the payments are 441 444 46464. And the other one is 6473838.
These numbers go to your profit sharing calculation report, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Right now, I'm just making a quick update so that we can see a slightly more accurate picture. And I'm ready for November. Okay, 3720963. And the patient responsibility is 705525. 367 69723. And 296931. 6931. Got it. And I'm ready for December. 400, 720, 53. Six, 5, 4, 531. Okay, 385, 562, 37. 7 and 218, 153. 211. Okay, we are good, thank you. And then one last thing, you see that tab billing right next to the report? Let's go back to it. I want to show you one more magic.
Here, billing.
For bill, no, the higher, and then very to the right, the tab in the browser. The central reach tab in the
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the one. Click on billing and billing here, and let's just take a quick look. Okay, now move to the right so that we can see more. Yeah, you see PR amounts are all zeros. So that's normal because it's February and it hasn't been posted yet. But let's see something from December, for example. So let's put the dates into like last week of December or some dates in December. I don't care what you're looking at. I just want to show you the other inaccuracy that you need to watch out for. Yeah, that's good. And now move all the way to the right. Yeah, you need to remove that weird invoice status. Okay, and now click on the owed and pick the outstanding amounts.
Outstanding patient responsibility or has? What's the difference
no,
between has and outstanding?
Nope. You're clicking on PR. You need to click on the owed, OWED, to the right, and click on outstanding. So this would be all of the sessions where we didn't get our money yet. Now, here is a question. You see how if you scroll back to the top and back to the right and back to the top, for example, you see how there is 266 owed and no patient responsibility? I would question why. And then you see how another session is even more peculiar. You see how owed says 1496? One of the, and insurance company already paid 70. So my hunch is that 14 is actually patient responsibility. But because no one posted it and no one invoiced the family, two things are happening. One, clearly our RCM report would think that it's the insurance company that actually owes. And you're missing that it's patient responsibility that we are not collecting. And two, if it's not even posted in patient responsibility, it's very likely that the family hasn't been invoiced for it. And we're in February.
I think, well, Vanessa maybe needs to like go over with Chantal. I mean, Chantal with Vanessa to all over these claims.
No, it's not Vanessa. So for patient responsibility, I never trusted Billmax because they miss things. They don't understand how it's working. Chantal has the whole document from me. It needs to be someone internal And every month I would go over invoices and I would post proper patient responsibility. I would create invoices, we'll send them to the families. Before that, it was Josh. Chantal said she knows how to handle that, but when I catch these things, for me, it's an indicator that they're not taking care of PR as much as they say they are.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, this wasn't invoiced yet. So, and if you go through a bunch of numbers, through a bunch of months, you'll find more of these. But what I'm trying to tell you is when you are calculating profit sharing, when you're calculating the results, when you're looking at the numbers, your numbers are only as good as your input. So if you see that patient responsibility is missing, you know your input is inaccurate, and your first move should be to tell Chantal that they need to go over patient responsibility for these months and post it correctly and update all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're still messing it up, I can teach you how to do it, and I can teach you how to go to the portals and check all of it. It's too long of a conversation, but
Yeah,
since
especially
we're
if we
looking,
separate
yeah,
something, definitely. Like
but since
dedicated,
we're looking at
just
Central Reach, I
employees.
just wanted to show you another
Mm-hmm.
thing to watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now since we've seen all of it, let me share the KPIs. And Vladimir, this would be a good moment for you to pay attention to this too, because these are the things that actually impact the profit. Okay, can you see my screen?
No, I need to stop sharing, I guess, yeah?
Yeah.
Hold on, no, I'm coming to my computer.
Okay, I see your screen.
Let me know when you're ready, Vladimir. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. So look, here is what I did. I did historical data for the last 2 years. So this is January 2024, and it goes all the way to December 2025. And I wanted to see all the performance indicators so we can see how we've been doing over this time period and figure out what should be our KPIs, our goals going forward. And obviously, watching month by month is not as exciting because sometimes one month just dips because there was one claim that Jerry missed or one kid who didn't pay for one specific thing. So when we are evaluating performance, we always look at the quarter. So here I pulled the same exact numbers, but I pulled it quarter by quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Questions so far?
I don't have questions, I mean.
Okay, so let me walk you through every indicator so you understand exactly what that means. This is the first one. This is the adjusted charges. And this is the one that you've seen in RCM report. So in a human language, adjusted charges means the money that we're hoping to get. It's not revenue yet. It's just the maximum that we could potentially get if suddenly all of our collection rates would be at 100%. It's not revenue. We can't count on it because it's not in our bank account. It's just our hopes and dreams for the month. The reason we're looking at this performance indicator is because if we didn't charge 400K, we're never going to get 400K. But even if we did, that's not a win yet. That's just yay, we are on the right track. Now, insurance collection rate is pretty self-explanatory. It's basically the percentage, how much insurance actually paid is divided to how much they were supposed to, and you see the percentage.
And you take this from Central Reach, yeah? The one we just saw, basically.
Yeah, you saw how I compared insurance payments with adjusted charges for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly the division.
Mm-hmm.
So you divide the payments that we receive from the insurance, these ones, by the what we charged insurance, and you
Mm-hmm.
get these percentages.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Is there for I see. Yeah, you have this formula inserted into this calculation
exactly.
spreadsheet. I mean, okay.
Well, in Central Reach, I actually coded a whole report, the financial health, that does this automatically.
Mm-hmm.
But because I don't have access to it anymore, I'm just literally asking you the numbers and pulling this into Excel because it's the same mathematics, it's the same exact
Yeah.
calculation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then PR collection rate is the same deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I divide the money that we got from parents by money that we were supposed to get from the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one is interesting. So you know how we have sessions that are billed and then people are getting paid for it?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have some admin time. So, for example, BCBAs are there all week, and hypothetically, they're there for 40 hours, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But when we look at their billables, we see that they did 28 hours, 29 hours per week on
Yes.
average. The
Yes.
rest are their admin hours. And then you have people who are purely admin, like Chantal, Jerry, office managers that she's hiring. And then sometimes RBTs would come to work and their session is canceled, and Chantal will give them a task like, hey, can you clean up this closet? Or can you do some stimuli? So all of these admin hours and admin people add up to, or just inflated salaries. All of those add up to influence the payroll. And in order for you to catch that something is off, I just literally divided our gross payroll by adjusted charges to see that the percentage of payroll is relatively stable. And this isn't going to give you much. It's just a very cool, very fast red flag. If I'm looking at it and I see, oh, why is it that Q1 was 51 and here it's suddenly 59? Okay, I need to look, did she hire anyone admin? Did she raise the salary for somebody? Did she did way too many admin hours for RBTs? Was it that the billables for BCBAs went down? So I have questions, but I have them based on something is off. Next one is budgeted expenses. And I'll walk you through every item, but basically these are all the expenses that are not related to payroll or billing charges. So you know how we can get the session in October and then it's getting billed in November and we're getting paid in February.
Yes.
So because of that, if we look at cash flow in QuickBooks, it doesn't help us because we don't really know what happened when. So based on that, when I take this adjusted charges and then collection rates and then finally revenue, which revenue here is how much we actually got paid for the sessions that happened in this month. I then, when I look at all of our expenses for that month, I remove payroll from them because I want to see payroll for this specific sessions, not the payroll that was paid during that month.
How you do it? How you create this report?
The way I'll explain to you and Chantal next week, because it's an Excel spreadsheet that does everything automatically. So, but how I remove it, very simple. You look at profit and loss report here in QuickBooks. You see it says payroll. You take this number, you remove it from the expenses. That's literally the magic. And then I also remove these two things from the expenses, card processing and claim processing, because we are getting charged based on the claims that got paid that month. But since we want to look at the sessions that happened that month instead of the claims that got paid for some months before, these expenses I remove too, and instead I put the percentages here, as in here, for example, card processing. I know that we got patient responsibility payments at 34,000. And I know that our card is charging us at 3.5%. So I multiply 34 by 3.5, I get this number, and I swap the number I have here on the billing for card processing with that number. And I swap the number I have here for claims processing with same number for the insurance. It's just 4.5%. So what you're left with after you pull the payroll, the
Sorry,
deductions-
can I ask you a question while I remember my question about the payroll? So, what if the payroll in QuickBooks report is attributable to 2 months? Let's say 5 last days of December and the whole January.
Yeah, it's still not accurate. Here is why. Let's say the sessions happened from December 16th to December 31st. The payment is going to be January 6th. So the payments, the payroll payments, are always a week delayed. So you're going to do the recalculation no matter what. And on top of that, sometimes Chantal will miscalculate and she'll run the adjusted payroll. Sometimes she'll terminate someone and she'll run an off-cycle payroll. Bonuses need to be calculated. So there are a lot of little things that you end up with that skew the numbers. So you do need to take payroll for the specific sessions instead of payroll that was.
How you do it? How you produce this exact payroll?
You get the Excel spreadsheet that I'm giving you next week, and you get the number.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. But where I'm going with all of that, and these are all great questions, is that after you remove the payroll, because it's sitting here as a KPI, you removed the billing for card processing and claim processing because it's sitting here in the percentages. You get your budgeted expenses, which are expenses for things that she bought during that month. So you're going to have a bunch of categories like this that would be clinical materials, marketing, consumables, devices, cleaning, insurance, all of that stuff that goes exactly into the month when we spend it, because it would be insane to try to tie it to the session.
Yeah,
And
you're just taking
make
this information from QuickBooks, correct?
Exactly. So this comes from QuickBooks, and I end up with a number. And when we'll look at the budget, we'll be able to figure out what this number should be. But you can also look and see how they used to be fine with 40 grand. Then they kind of overspent a little bit when they were expanding, but then they stayed at this level. And this is why we need to do the budget quickly, because Chantal keeps spending way more money than they need to on some things that aren't necessarily giving us any kind of advantage, but more of a luxury items. I'll show you. And then when the last KPI that I'm looking at is estimated profit, because I want to see what we ended up with. And all of this are per month. So obviously not for the entire quarter. They're just average in those 3 months that happened during the quarter. Okay, and now this is the time when we look at this. We look at the history and benchmarking at the situation, and we figure out what the targets should be going forward. Vladimir, are you still with us? Do you have any questions so far? Okay, So here is the first one, adjusted charges. And that's, you can see how it kept growing from 300 something to almost 400 to 400 and over 400.
Mm-hmm.
I would set it at 400 because that would be achievable and reasonable. And she almost got there both of the quarters in the beginning of 2025. So I think as a goal, this is a very decent goal. And since okay. 425, 450. Uh-huh. Okay. So let me put 425 for now, and then we'll talk and we'll see if there is a pushback. Insurance collection rate. So we used to have 95, but with Billmax and with how easy it is with Billmax, you're seeing that we're at 199 all the time. So I would still put it at 97, just for the sake of we're going up. And the reason I would recommend put it lower than our historical results is that I know Chantal is going to put up a fight. Let's say one quarter she's at 96. She's going to come up with a bunch of, oh, but that insurance did that, and that insurance did that, and that person did that, and we didn't know about that. And I would want to set up a number where we're giving her this 2% extra as some room, right? But there is no excuse. Like it has to be 97 no matter what happens with insurances, because for the last 2 years, no matter what happened with the insurances, they still were able to be way above that number.
Have you ever
Again,
discussed with
subject to-
Vanessa with Billmax? She says it's like reasonable. It's an excellent expectation, 79, right? Or close to excellent. I don't know what
Vanessa
excellent is.
says
18,
90
98.
98.
98 is
So
excellent.
I'm between 97 and 98. The other reason I'm putting 97 is because sometimes it takes a little longer to get to the 99. So I don't know, but totally up to both of you what you want to do in this case.
I think 97 is reasonable. There is always room for improvement, of course, but yeah. I agree with this number, my opinion.
Vladimir? I think Jerry and Billmax will push it higher on their own, but if we set it as 97, we can enforce this no excuses policy. Like, doesn't matter what happened, doesn't matter what you thought, doesn't matter, because this stops Chantal from doing something like, oh, let me just schedule a bunch of sessions for the kid who doesn't have authorization yet because we think is going to come through. If she knows she can write off some things as an excuse and then it doesn't affect the number, then she's going to go for it. And you're going to have a bunch of sessions that were not authorized. If you tell her that it has to be 97 no matter what is happening, she's going to be more careful with scheduling sessions with kids who don't have authorization. And she's going to push Gerald to do the benefit verification so that we don't end up doing a bunch of sessions and then discovering that the insurance lapsed. But like you tell me, I think that we also have some room here because we go at 99, 99, 99 all the time. And if we look month by month with more decimal points, we rarely have 97 that's like very close to 98. So we could set it up as 98. I'm just because 99 is like honestly the result that we keep having. That's because I don't have access to Central Reach anymore. And no one is correcting when the posting is sometimes insurance company overpay. And there could be multiple reasons why. Sometimes it's because the posting team messed up and we're looking at data that's wrong. Sometimes it's because the insurance raised its rate and we should update it and we should do the sales adjustment. Sometimes it's because the insurance genuinely paid us more and we know that they're going to recoup. I don't know because I don't have access to Central Reach, but when I see numbers like that, I flag them exactly like you do, and then I dig into it. I have no idea what's happening there because I don't have access, but that tells me that no
Shoot
one
me
is
a
watching
question
over
in chat, and if you need like numbers, I'll just make sure to check them and send it back to you if you want.
I think it's not like that. It's like, you know how we just went into RCM and then we unfolded that and then we opened that. And when we look at it, and then I would go to insurance portal, I would check the claims, I would figure out what's going on. So it's kind of like this constant process of watching over all the billing entries, finding those right flags and
Basically, it's a
digging
job
into.
of the biller, right? Because like I know in Chicago we have a like in-house biller, and she does all this stuff you are like describing right now. So like I was under the impression it's like Vanessa and Bill Max's responsibility, but clearly it's not like being done on.
Vanessa and Bill Max do 80% of it.
Uh-huh.
But as any employee or any vendor, they need help and they need to be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry's entire job is to do that.
Jerry
So
is Gerald Chantal's husband. This is the one, yeah. Because
yes,
I'm not very familiar with the stuff like John.
yes,
Okay, got
yes. So I know that he doesn't always do it because he also gets distracted and he starts to do some things that don't make us much money, but it's important for him. And sometimes instead of me waiting for him to do something about, and he has the same opinion, like, oh, we pay Bill Max for it. Why would I do it?
Mm-hmm.
I am not interested in waiting, not interested in finding who's to blame. I'm just going to go in, I'm going to figure it out, and then I'm going to post a note for Bill Max to check it or to investigate. Or, hey, folks, I went to insurance portal. This is what's happening. You need to do this. Or I'm going to do sales adjustments myself because I need proper numbers. I'm just not that patient. I'm not interested in finding who I'm blaming for it. I'm interested in results. So I normally
Sorry for interruption. What clearinghouse are they using in Nevada?
offer selling.
Okay. It's a Waystar now in Chicago, so it's different. Okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So I normally just dig into all of these red flags and I clean them up.
Mm-hmm.
And I do the same exact thing for patient responsibility because I know for a fact that Bill Max's posting is based on automatic things that don't always happen correctly. And I'm much more interested in making sure that the invoices to the families are correct. So once a month, I go through all of the PR for every single kid and I post all the right numbers. And it's a whole process that we're not going to go into right now. But this is why I'm doing it. Like all of this weird numbers that you're seeing, you see how before July, all of them make sense and patient responsibility is at a really good level. This is the moment when I stopped taking care of patient responsibility. You see the results. Last time I created patient responsibility. Here is how it works. I create, so in July, we have a session. It's going to be sent to the insurance company in August. In September, we would probably hear back from the insurance company, which is the moment when I first would create an invoice. I may create it in October because sometimes it takes insurance company a couple of months to come back to us. The last time I created invoices was October, but I did not help anybody to hold parents accountable. I just posted them. And I informed Chantal that the person she's putting in charge is not doing really good work and we need to talk about it and someone needs to reach out to the parents. But last time I reached out to the parents was September, which means really the sessions in June. And that's why June we are at 90%, May we are at 90%. In July, they fell to 35 because in October, no one followed up with the parents and asked for the payments. And also, you remember that these 2 months are super low for one more reason. You remember how Jerry didn't catch that the family doesn't have benefits anymore? And we talked about this one mom that owes us 28K. These are 28K that are split between these 2 months. So out of 31, maybe it's 20, I don't remember, but there is some gigantic number that is coming from just one family. And if you would have added it to both of these months, this would have been, oh, sorry, I'm putting it July and August. This month would have been significantly higher. You add that 28 here and here, you would have been at 40 instead of 17. So this is why I'm saying that patient responsibility, someone needs to clean it up and someone needs to call the parents and someone needs to figure out what to do because these were the months that I were able to take care of, and this is the results when I was not.
Can it be that they ran out of pocket payments and basically insurance should have just like catch this and pay for it? No?
Not likely, based on what you and I just saw in Central Reach, when we clearly see that one of the amounts owed should be patient responsibility, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's both, honestly. And some things should have been pushed back to the insurance company and were not. And maybe this 101 is one of the reasons. But it will be also a bunch of sessions where it should be patient responsibility, but it's not. And that's because I would assume that for these 3 months after I stopped taking care of it, it wasn't even invoiced correctly. No one went through it with a fine comb and really, really, really cleaned it up. And I would say, since we're seeing the problem in PR, eventually we need to figure out if I'm teaching you how to do it or not. Because if I'll teach you how to do it, you'll get more accurate picture, you'll know what to ask from Jira and Chantal, and they will have better numbers. But right now, I would propose we stay with a big picture because
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
too
one
much.
of the problems. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yes, because look, for all the quarters when I was watching over it, you get at least 86. That's the lowest we ever went, and your average is 91. That's my result. These are NAC results. So, and we're talking about months. One, Jerry missed benefit verification, which means in July, in the beginning of July, he should have called. Oh, sorry. Understood. In this quarter, it's likely not that much. 30,000 we're missing out on. Yeah.
Just because of this one family?
Mostly, but also some under collecting from other parents.
Mm-hmm.
In yes. 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 I agree, which is why someone needs to take care of patient responsibility.
Let's set up separate meeting discussing only parents' responsibility. You'll show us how to do maybe a report and central reach custom report. I don't know.
Yeah. Who doesn't know math? And Chantal, last time I created invoices in October, I said, hey, Chantal, I just created a bunch of invoices. They're still not paid. Someone needs to reach out to the families. She told me, Jerry and I will take over from now.
Okay, let's start with producing a report showing all these numbers in like the very detailed report, I guess. With name of families, the name of kids, pardon me.
Folks, patient responsibility, I agree that eventually we'll need to set up a separate meeting after we're done with big picture and watching over big problems. I would like, Yulia, for you and I to dig into it a little bit more so I can explain, because it's more complicated than you think. Your numbers in Central Reach need to be correct in order to judge which payments were missed. Right now, my guess would be that no one actually corrected the patient responsibility amounts. They just took whatever Bill Max spit out at them. It's wrong. Bill Max keeps messing patient responsibility on a monthly basis. We keep correcting it. It's a normal process and it's not that hard. It usually takes me 4 to 5 hours once a month to just fix it.
Is it legal? Because I know Vanessa like said to Chantal that it's illegal to do it. You can't like correct it. It was like her precise words.
You are
like you're gonna be
mixing...
it's gonna be maybe a lawsuit for this if ever like any parents gonna like.
You're mixing two different things. What Vanessa is referring to is, let's say insurance company said that out of $100 that you're charging for the session, they cover 80 and patient responsibility is 20. It's illegal for us to ask parents to pay 50 if the insurance company said 20. It's also illegal for us to ask for 10 if the insurance company said 20. We need to ask for patient responsibility that is posted on the response from the insurance company that's called ERA. However, what I'm referring to is completely different thing. When Bill Max auto chatbot goes through all of our claims and corrects the numbers, and then Jerry corrects the numbers, and then Chantal corrects the numbers, and then somebody else corrects the numbers, what's written in the column that's named patient responsibility in billing is not the number on the ERA. And make sure that what we have in Central Reach actually matches what we should be charging parents. That's the job. That's totally legal. That's what we're supposed to do. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I think we need a meeting with the Jerry and Chantal present about this particular topic. It's like very complicated.
I agree. And I think that, folks, right now, I am very concerned about big picture. And yes, 30K is not fun, and we should be catching it soon. But I want to focus on getting us to 70K per month in total. And I want to go back to all KPIs so that we take it one by one. So based on this good months, we have two different options. Option number one, I know that Josh dropped the ball a little bit here. That's why it's 86. And I know that 90 is totally realistic, and it used to be 90. So option number one is put it at 90 as a target. Option number two, let's say for all good months when I was actually watching over it and helping somewhat, we were at least like 96 was the lowest, the average was 91, so 95 has to be an easy target. So I can go either way, but that would be the lowest of my recommendations, and 90 would be the highest.
Okay.
See if there is pushback. Okay. Gross payroll, literally just divided and looked at the averages. It should be around 55, and I would put it as a goal because that's the average. And every time it's over, I'll help you look more into, is it too many salaried people? Is it too many admin hours for RBTs? Is it too many cancellations? That's another rabbit hole. But you see how for every indicator, I'm showing you this is the red flag and this is how you fix it. So to not climb walls and to not check 200 indicators every single month, what I do, I look at all of this. And when I see a problem like this, then I dig into it. If I see a number like this, I'm cool. I'm not going to dig into payroll. I'm not going to look at it because we're in good spot. If this is rising a little bit, this is a good time to talk about it. And that's what I did. And that's what got us back to 54. Make sense?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you could put into target as a
That's what I
bracket,
did.
like 55 to 57, or like, do something like this. If you want, I mean, yeah, like min max, you know.
I think honestly, we still have a lot of room where the salaries could be lower because there are a lot of admin people who are barely doing any work, like Alex, who I spent 4 months coaching after I told Chantal repeatedly 4 times that she's not capable of doing PR. That's why I'm putting it at 55 because if she wouldn't have hired a bunch of people who were in training and that training didn't produce any results, we would have been easily at 54 for the last year. And the average here is again exactly 55. That's why I'm putting 55. Like I know it's a little tricky, and it's not like Chantal is going to get fired if she doesn't meet the target, but I would like her to strive towards that number, and I would like it to be a red flag for you if she doesn't, and that's why I'm putting 55.
Payroll. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, look at this. Your budget expenses are 50. Your payroll and taxes are 190. Nothing else even come close to your
Let me
payroll.
briefly touch the topic of switching to not biweekly payroll, just like set number of dates, like every 15th of the month and every 31st. Wouldn't it give you more precise, correct information of payroll expenses attributable to this exactly income earned for this period?
No.
No?
You'll see that Excel spreadsheet that, no, actually it will make it worse. 2 reasons. Excel spreadsheet that I'm doing, it doesn't care if you pay weekly, monthly, it just pulls all the data and it does the calculations for you. The
Okay,
difference
yeah.
is just
I know we're
adjustment
gonna
included.
have separate meetings. Sorry for yeah, going
Yeah,
to
no
other
problem.
direction. Yeah.
But it's a good question. And the reason I stick to weekly is because that allows Chantal to see apples to apples. If we're pairing every 2 weeks, she continues to pay for 10 work days. And if one payroll is vastly different from another, you can catch it without running any numbers instead of waiting till the end of the quarter to discover that something is off or till the end of the month. She can see the payroll that like normally her payroll is 180, suddenly this one is 210. Alarm goes in her head and she does something about it. And before we switched to that system, her payroll was up and down all the time. After I pushed her to switch this year, she got significantly better and way more stable.
I see. Okay.
So that's the reason why I'm sticking to it. And for Excel spreadsheet, there is absolutely zero difference. Okay. And then if we stick to all of this, 70 should be a breeze. The reason for it is even with overinflated expenses here and here, when we spent 60 instead of 50, we still got to the 70. So maybe even 75, because honestly, even if she would have cut it to 55, she would have gotten 75. Yep, okay, no problem. Relax, yeah. And then this number should obviously come from a budget, which is our next slide. But before I go into it, any other questions on this stuff?
No, I need to digest it, I guess. Look at it again. Yeah, maybe I'll have follow-up questions. Yeah. No, it's true. It's a lot. It's a lot of information. Yeah. Oh, I need to, like, as I said, I need to look at these numbers and digest all this information. So we'll definitely discuss it. Yeah. Oh, I'm not shy. Like, I'm going to come to Alyona wherever I have a question. Definitely. Yeah.
I think right now you just need to understand what every indicator means, what it measures, why it is important, and why the suggested isn't necessarily average. Sometimes it's a little higher, sometimes it's a little lower. And as long as you understand that, you are heading off to a good start. And then later on, for you to be fully comfortable taking on NAC, you need to not just understand it and be able to catch the errors in data like this in August and explain it and fix it in Central Reach. You also need to be able to know where the fluctuations come from, what's the problem behind it, how to dig into it, how to spot it. And that's going to be a longer training when we'll keep doing all of these numbers. And whenever you see a number that is off, I'll help you dig into it. And then after a few of these exploration expeditions, you'll get a little bit more comfortable knowing that if you see a red flag in this area, it means you need to check that. If you see a red flag in this area, it means you need to check that.
No, I see it's happening like this. You give me a next month, let's say, I don't know, February, March, and ask me to provide you with the numbers.
Yep.
Then we discuss these numbers, how they're different from your, like, estimations, observations, experience, and then how I can, like, easily catch up. With payroll, it's probably going to be the easiest for me. Chantal just suggested that she would like me
I don't know, now or like in near future to take over payroll. So of course it's like it's good for me. It will give me opportunity to see this bi-weekly payroll and any fluctuations if they happen, and
Yep.
to be able to explain to you and Vladimir like what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, with other things, again, if you explain me how you produce this budgeted expense report in QuickBooks, how you
Yeah.
do customization, fine. If you give me form, even better.
Yeah, of course. Like
Yeah,
you get
so
all of
like
the tools, but I agree with you. It's gonna take a few
claims
months.
and bills and authorizations, it's gonna be the like not no-go part for now, but like yeah, something I prefer to put aside just because I can like do everything at once. It's like a full-time job, and yeah, I still don't see the reason why Jerry, who was hired like on a full-time basis
do
for
it is
doing
not doing
exactly
it.
this, yeah, is not is not doing it. In combination with very expensive Vanessa, I mean Bill Max, of course not Vanessa. Yeah, and yeah, everyone else is involved. Who else is Alejandra? I saw it in a group chat. She do you know who Alejandra is? She's doing
Yeah.
something PR related. Yeah.
Yeah, she is the person who
So
doesn't know how to calculate percentage.
it's the one who you call Alex. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I told her, hey, can you calculate what the percentage is here? She said, I don't know how to calculate percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my cue to tell Chantal, this is not the right person for patient responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And Chantal asked me to give her 1 more month, and that happened 4 more times. And Alex kept missing kids, charging something that was totally wrong, not being able to calculate the percentage, missing sessions, misinterpreting the time frame, and just one mistake after another, which is why I think she is completely, totally wrong for PR, which is why you get this. But you're right. Let's do one at a time. You're right that payroll is the first priority. I agree with it. And then we'll just keep digging into issues whenever we see where they arise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, budget.
Mm. Yeah, I remember. Have no clue. We need to ask Chantal what exactly she means. Yeah. I think she just remembers Alyona's complaints and try to like bring something positive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was praising Alejandra.
Yeah, where?
Again, we're gonna have like Alyona, you and me. I think we need separate meeting for just PR. I just don't even want to go. We need to separate report, go all over the numbers, percentages, where they came from, and then we're gonna be able to ask questions.
Okay, I agree. And here is my suggestion. I think that the urgent part right now is to set KPIs for 2026 and to set the budget so that big picture Chantal has some guidelines to adhere to. And I would ignore these numbers for now, and I would sell it as we know it takes time to collect patient responsibility. And I would use this as a basis to set the suggested KPIs because this quarter's ended a while ago and we know we can rely on numbers. And then I would say after we set the KPIs and we set the budget, and Yulia, after working with me on that Excel that I keep promising you, how to calculate this. Then we need to dig into patient responsibility in Central Reach so I can show you exactly what the problem is and where Chantal is wrong. But I agree, if we will start raising this question now, we are going to focus on one small detail when Chantal is going to feel cornered and upset and mad and whatever it is. And we're going to end up with not having KPIs or budget, which are, in my opinion, the priority. So I would do KPIs and budget first, and then I would dig into all the problem areas, because even if we are late with PR by a couple of weeks, it's not the end of the world. If we don't have budget and KPIs, we are gonna miss on more money.
Plus, you know,
It
the
makes sense,
argument she always bring into like as a reason why not to pursue it too hard. Like, let's say this family through insurance brings you like $50,000 per year, and now you're pursuing this family because of the $500, like worsening relationships with them and threatening them to withdraw the kid from the center. Does it worth it? No, of course not. I better keep my 50,000 and just write off and decrease my tax base with this 500. You see the reasoning here?
I see that it's always an excuse, but it's not really the reasoning, because what ends up happening is our patient responsibility is about 10 to 20%, and that's our profit. So if Chantal claims that we have such a gigantic wait list, why are we keeping families who underpay us that 10 and 20% that's supposed to be our profit, and we're not onboarding families who would actually pay their patient responsibility on time?
It's a reasonable, yeah, but if you say that this decrease in PR collection rate is like 80% because of the one family who didn't pay this 30,000, it's basically just one bad like sheep.
No, it's only for a couple of months, and it's not only one family. There are about 20 families that Chantal keeps making excuses for and letting them slide historically for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, always finding a reason to make a write-off for them. And with each of these families, we lost 20 to 30K. You multiplied by the number of families that she keep letting slide like this, you're gonna end up with 100 to 200 grand. Why should we keep missing out on it?
If it's like reasonably possible to collect them, of course. But again, we need
Trust
to
me,
hear all
I've
the
heard
arguments. Yeah.
all of these excuses, and they all sound very good until you look at the facts. Just like Chantal sounds very good praising Alex until you see these numbers. And Vladimir is totally right. We need to dig into it. You need to see the actual numbers. You need to look at the actual facts, not what Chantal is trying to sell, because she makes her judgment based on emotions without looking at dollars. And then based on emotions, she's like, well, it's only 3K, it's only 2K, it's only 5K, it's only 1K. And then you add 20 families where it's only, and you missed out on 60K in the last half a year. So I would definitely make that a priority after the KPIs and budget is done, because every single time when I actually looked at the facts and numbers, I was able to find what was a wrong decision that Chantal made that led us to missing out on a big chunk of change. In this case, with the family with 28K, in July, Jerry was supposed to do benefit verification and discover that the family is no longer covered by insurance. He missed it. For 2 months, we were providing services to a family without insurance. Their bill ended up being over 20K because he missed it. If he would have bothered to call the insurance company, we would have had that 20K by now, or we would have stopped services, we would have onboarded a different family, and we wouldn't be doing therapy for free.
He's the one who is doing benefits and authorizations, right? In the clinic.
Verification, yes.
Verification.
And he's the one who missed it, who decided to skip on it in July, or looked at the wrong thing.
Yeah, let's have
He
a meeting
still-
with Chantal and maybe Jerry.
He still met the target, Alyona,
Huh?
and by missing it, he still met the target.
His target with insurance, yes, but that's because if the family is not covered by insurance, it doesn't affect insurance numbers. It affects PR numbers.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm saying, if we push Chantal on patient responsibility right now, she's gonna get defensive, upset, mad, and you're gonna end up half a year in
Yeah, let's
2026.
do step by step. Mhm.
Yeah, let's do KPIs, let's do budget, and then I'll show you how much she underestimates the importance of PR and how many facts she's overlooking because she is a detail-oriented person who can't see the big picture and she needs help from somebody who is numbers-oriented and looks at the facts like you do, Yulia, like I do, and I'll help you get these facts and numbers when we're done with big picture.
Before we move on, tell me how long it's gonna take us because I like literally need to leave at 2:30 to pick up my son from school at 3. So if it's like half an hour, can we like do it tomorrow maybe to do budget, the full budget discussion thing?
Totally
Do you
up to
have
you.
time?
So look, I put together a bunch of monthly spendings and some comments for each and every one that I really need to talk to you about, not just send it to somebody and then we have gazillion of different versions and then Chantal is looking at the document that I wasn't able to run by you yet and we haven't made the corrections. So I would like to have a conversation, but in terms of timing, you tell me what works and do we want to meet tomorrow between the three of us and take a look at this first and kind of see where we want to push and where we don't? Do we want to, I don't know, like it's totally up to you.
Well, obviously, to me, that Yulia needs to receive this knowledge training from you as soon as possible. Let's not push it for, let's not postpone it. So
I'm
let's
ready to
meet.
go right now, but
Let's
Yulia
meet
needs
as
to
much
pick up.
Do,
till
do,
as,
do,
as
do we have
much
anything
till
scheduled with Chantal for tomorrow?
No,
I don't.
I know neither.
And we don't need her for first meeting related to budget, right? Maybe for the
Yeah.
second one.
I need to be able to explain these things to you that she already knows because she's running it without her interrupting and pushing back. I need to first walk you through it as a manual, and then we can talk to her about it and do some back and forth. So do
it's
you want to do
either
the...
tomorrow or Thursday for me. Tomorrow after noon, like either before 11 my time, but it's too early for you, or afternoon my time, like, or Thursday anytime.
Okay, Vladimir, what
Let's
works
not.
for you?
I mean, I'd rather not postpone it. So if we can do it tomorrow, let's do it tomorrow instead of day later because these
Fabulous.
things are urgent. Leaking
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, I agree. Yulia, noon or 1 p.m. or 12:30, what works?
Noon works.
Fabulous. Then you, me, and Vladimir are meeting tomorrow at noon your time, 9 a.m. my time. And I'm going to walk you through all of these things because some of them are as easy as I just took averages and I put some rounded numbers so that they're nicer to look at instead of 2495. And some of that you need to really understand, like employee benefits, because Chantal makes way too many people full-time and it drives our costs of insurance up for no reason. But looking after it is different than looking after budget. And I need to walk you through every single expense and explain how they're born and why I want to push back on some things like here, because you see how vastly different the numbers are. And I'm doing some calculations in some cases instead of just taking the averages.
Okay. Sounds like a good plan to me. Let's go over all these lines tomorrow.
Awesome. I'll send the invite.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
time and thank you for all your hard work.
Of course.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey, Vladimir.
Hi. Okay.
Sorry?
Seems now she's Seems now she's starting to understand it better.
Yes. And she's starting to see the like Chantal is charismatic and she can be very convincing, but there is no denial when you look at the numbers.
Especially for her, who is an accountant, I hope.
I hope so too.
All
Yeah.
right.